Donald Trump was set to impose sweeping new tariffs on Wednesday as he proclaimed Liberation Day in the United States, escalating a trade war with global partners, risking cost increases and upending decades of old trade order. Trump has kept the world guessing on the details of the tariff plans, which were still being formulated ahead of a White House Road Garden announcement ceremony scheduled for 4 p.m. Eastern Time. But the format of the duties was unclear, with reports that Trump was considering a 20% universal tariff. Trump's planned levies will be negative for all, European Central Bank Christine Lagarde said. It will be negative the world over, and the density and the durability of the impact will vary depending on the scope of the products targeted, on how long it lasts, on whether or not there are negotiations, she said in an interview on Ireland's News Talk Radio. As a nervous world awaited details of the tariff plans, stocks retreated on Wednesday while safe haven gold held near record highs. Quote, "I can't recall a situation where the stakes were this high and yet the outcome was so unpredictable," said Steve Sosnick, chief strategist at Interactive Brokers. Quote, "The devil is going to be in the details and nobody knows the details," end quote. Across sectors from cars to ocean freight shipping, luxury goods, and beyond, business leaders waited to see what would hit them, all the more so as Trump has invoked emergency powers to swiftly add and occasionally retract and reinstate tariffs. Quote, "You cannot make important decisions on your supply chain when the rules of the game keep changing," end quote, said Peter Sand, chief analyst and freight pricing platform Zenetta. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has been careful to avoid criticizing Trump and the delicate diplomatic balancing act, warned tariffs would hit Italian companies hard and also would be unfair on American consumers. Quote, "This is the reason why I remain convinced that we must work to avert a trade war that would benefit neither the United States nor Europe in any way," she said. France expected a pretty powerful hit that could see tariffs range in the 20 to 25%. In just over 10 weeks since taking office, Trump has imposed new 20% duties on all imports from China over fentanyl and fully restored 25% duties on steel and aluminum, extending these to nearly $150 billion worth downstream products. A month-long reprieve for most Canadian and Mexican goods from his 25% fentanyl-related tariffs is due to expire on Wednesday. Administration officials have said that all of Trump's tariffs, including prior rates, are stacking, so a Mexican-built car previously charged 2.5% to enter the U.S. would be subject to both the fentanyl tariffs and the auto sectoral tariffs for a 52.5% tariff rate, plus any reciprocal tariff Trump may impose on Mexican goods. Growing uncertainty over the duties is eroding investor, consumer, and business confidence. Rattled investors have sold stocks for more than a month, wiping nearly $5 trillion off the value of U.S. equities since mid-February. The dollar firmed a touch, and other currencies held in tight ranges on Wednesday as traders awaited details of Trump's plans. Trading partners from the European Union to Canada and Mexico have vowed to respond with retaliatory tariffs and other countermeasures, even as some have sought to negotiate with the White House. In Australia, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his rival in the May election, Liberal Party leader Peter Dutton, said they would fight back in the face of looming U.S. tariffs that could hit Australian beef. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum spoke on Tuesday about Canada's plan to fight unjustified trade actions by the U.S., Carney's office said. Trump has argued that the American workers and manufacturers have been hurt for decades by free trade deals that have lowered barriers to global commerce and fueled the growth of a $3 trillion U.S. market for imported goods, leading to a goods trade deficit that exceeds $1.2 trillion. But a 20% tariff on top of those already imposed would cost the average household at least $3,400, according to Yale University Budget Lab.